I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The season opener at Daytona. Vic Brown and Chad Ragsdale have the front row. Jeremy Edwards, Vern Spring on the second row. Andy Wilkinson and Clay Kirchenbauer on the third row. Jade Briette, Patrick Pieper on the fourth. Eric W. and Edmund Jones round out the top 10. Justin Swafford and Andrew Thornton sitting in 11th and 12th. Austin Ruskoff in 13th. Brian Hewitt in 14th. Dustin Slover 15th. Colby Whipple in 16th. Jason McCall in 17th. Larry Waits in 18th. Brian Ray in 19th. David Lux in 20th. Ryan McDaniel, Jacob Morgan, Bradley James, and Richard Cragen round out the 24-car field at Daytona. All the drivers get stacked up, ready to go. Looks like everybody is on the grid as always. If you have a favorite driver in the field, don't forget to drop in the comments. Let us know who you're cheering for. Good evening, Joey. I don't know who you're cheering for. Cheering for Andrew? Everybody rolls off pit road. We've got one truck stopped on pit road. Looks like Jeremy Edwards is pulled into his pit stall. Bradley James is now rolling out on the track. I have no idea. Now Jeremy is rolling once again. Already some excitement before the green flag. Huge shout out to our awesome production crew who just delivered another water to me. That unicorn sure is a beautiful woman. All right, folks, everybody is stacked up. We are going through 3 and 4. The pace car will dive to pit road. Coming out of turn 4. The driver's preparing to unleash all that horsepower. No better place to start the season. No better way to start the season. We're at Daytona. Pace car is in.
Here we go. Green flag. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
And we are away at Daytona. Ragsdale on the high side, quickly pulling his truck ahead. As we always say, it takes a couple laps to get these trucks up to full speed. It's about a lap and a half or so in the trucks. And they will be stacked up side by side all night long. These drivers are looking at 24 to 28 laps on a tank of fuel. So it looks like a minimum 2-stop race here tonight. More than likely, Probably, I think everybody can make it on 2 laps. Hey, good evening, Desiree. But as you heard Pieper mention, as you heard Colby mention during pre-race, unlikely that we will see green flag stops. It just depends on when the cautions fly. They're side by side. Not a rookie. Vern Spring gets a little wobbly through 1 and 2. We'll be keeping an eye on the new drivers in C12 Motorsports. Andy Wilkinson in the 21 truck currently runs in 6th. Brian Ray in the 9 truck already up 6 spots into 13th. Larry Waits in the 50 truck currently runs in 21st. And not a rookie, we saw Jeremy Edwards on the pace lap. Jeremy Edwards ended up parking on pit road, came back out, came out on track last. He just set the fastest lap so far tonight. Highline already showing some speed, as Ragsdale has the lead for the moment. And every time we come here, we talk about the fact that Daytona and Talladega, they are not that physically demanding, but mentally this race will wear you out. It's like playing 3D chess at over 200 miles an hour. And one wrong move could end your night. And just to show you why, let's ride along with the rookie. In car with Brian Ray as he runs in 14. They go off into turn 1. You see, despite the fact that these trucks have a bit of downforce to them, they do stick a little bit better than the Xfinity car and the previous Cup car, the Gen 6. But they still do not stick very well. Not a ton of grip out there. Drivers have their hands full. The air moves them around. And then there is the bumping. As Brian comes out of turn 4 down the front straightaway, right on the back bumper of Brian Hewitt, crosses the start-finish line. Brian did that lap at a 48.65. Speaking of lap times, we mentioned Jeremy Edwards set the fastest lap just a little bit ago, a 47.99. He's the only driver under the 48-second mark at the moment. It is a bit of a surprise. Chad Ragsdale in that high line has stayed out front. Vern giving him a really good push. That high line is working really, really well tonight. Edmund Jones in the top 10 along with Justin Swafford and Eric W. Vern Spring continues to give Ragsdale a push at the front. I am seeing a lot of patience out on track tonight. Hey, good evening, David. I hope you get better soon, buddy. David Michael Lee, as always, cheering on Clay Kirchenbauer. Clay currently runs in 7th. Running that old school M&M truck. It is so awesome to see the retro paint schemes out here again. It's been almost 2 years since the last time they did the retro truck series. As it looks like Jade Briette, who was up at the front, it was getting a little too dicey. He backs out of it. Ten laps in. Now remember, we're looking at 24 to 28 laps on a tank of fuel here tonight. Most of these drivers, though, it's going to be around 26 laps. And we'll see most of the field, if we have green flag stops, we'll see most of this field in over the course of 2 laps. Could see some pit road chaos here tonight. Good evening, Kevin, and to some degree I agree with you. Using hand controls to drive, road racing is a little bit easier. So far, Chad Ragsdale has led every lap. It is really surprising to see a car up on the high side running so well. Usually it takes about half the race for that high line to come in. But as soon as I said something, Vic Brown gets a bit of a run on the bottom. Ragsdale gets the push from, oh, we've got a wreck back behind. Caution is out for the first time. Caution is out on lap 11. And it looks like a slew of cars caught up in this one. This may have been the big one. Here they come down the back straightaway. Looks like one of the drivers gets pushed down into the grass. Another one gets turned back up. Clay manages to come through. Looking down from the blimp. There you see the 21 gets bumped down. Comes back up across the track and everybody gets pulled in. Take a look from a different angle. It looks like the vast majority of the field had minimal damage, but oh, Eric hits the wall hard. Body panels are flying. Wow. Kevin, it looked like he just got... The 21 just got bumped badly out of line, and he came back up across the nose. Brian Ray, Andrew Thornton, Jacob Morgan, Justin Swafford, Larry Waits, Brian Ray, Edmund Jones. A bunch of cars caught up in that one. Clay Kirchenbauer is on pit road. He towed it in. Trying to see if we can see what happened. Clay pretty much made it through unscathed. See if we can see what happened with Clay. Here he comes out of turn. Oh! Apparently he got hit harder than it appeared. The engine just lets go. Truck breaks loose on him. And folks, I'm about to say something I never thought I would say, especially at Daytona. Andrew Thornton is leading, but he brings it to pit road. David Lux, Chad Ragsdale, Jeremy Edwards, Austin Ruskoff, all coming in or back in to top off on fuel. As the lights go out on the pace car. All right, everybody stacking back up. Clay Kirchenbauer is back out on track, as is Brian Ray. Kevin, I know what you mean, buddy. I just wish I could do this in the real world. I am excited about getting to announce some monster trucks in March. You know what? We've had a lot of green flag laps here. We've still got a big field out here. They do make a lot of noise. What do you say on the restart? Let's crank it up. When the green flag drops, I'm going to shut up. You guys crank it up. Listen to all that horsepower. Here we go. Green flag is in the air. Crank it up, y'all. everybody back underway. Full power, full send. And one of the rookies, Brian Ray, already in trouble. There's Ray back behind as they come out of turn 2. And it looks like something just broke on the truck. It snaps right. Taking a look down from the blimp. Looks like the truck just completely snaps right. Don't even see him getting on the brakes and slams the inside wall. Not the way he wanted his rookie outing to go. Yeah, Kevin, it's definitely going to be an exciting one. Vern Spring now up front for the first time, but Pieper side by side. Patrick Pieper leads it at the line. If Pieper pulls off the win here tonight, that will be the most wins for any driver during a week of broadcasting. As of last night, Patrick Pieper had 4 wins that we have broadcast this week. Can he pull off number 5 here tonight? Unfortunately, Richie Joplin not here tonight. Do miss Richie. His first Nowski win came in the retro trucks at Talladega, and he won that race sideways. I may have, DJ. How are you doing tonight, DJ? Why aren't you out here showing them how it's done? Vic Brown leads at the line that time. And a big move out of turn 4. Shot to the high line, had the momentum, and took the spot. That high line has been great all night so far. Got some big movers coming up in the field. Brian Hewitt now up 11 spots into 3rd. Patrick Pieper up 4 spots into 4th. Bradley James up 10 spots into 5th. Ryan McDaniel up 15 spots into 6th. Jacob Morgan up 13 spots into 9th. And Richard Cragen up 14 spots into 10th. Well, DJ, I hope we see you out some this season, buddy. The 66 car is driven by Ryan McDaniel. He is one of 2 drivers we are not going to talk about a whole lot tonight. just because every time I do, they wreck and I get blamed. So we will not be talking much about Ryan McDaniel or Jacob Morgan. Jacob is in the 24, that Chrome Illusion paint scheme. There is a reason for that paint. It was not the original paint he was going to run tonight. I told him to run that paint, and historically, when he runs the paint, I tell him he finishes on the podium. Patrick Pieper now at the front as the sun is going down. A lot of side-by-side, we talked about it a little bit ago, really seeing a lot of patience out here. Only one driver not on the lead lap. Actually, two drivers. Clay Kirchenbauer not on the lead lap. Brian Ray is back out on track. He is not on the lead lap either. Ray just came back out on track a few moments ago. The pack will be catching up to him here shortly. Most of the drivers came in on lap 13. A few went to lap 14 just to get that little bit of extra fuel. So we're likely going to see them on pit road starting around lap 35. Jeremy Edwards has taken quite a bit of time off here recently. Now remember, Colby Whipple, at the end of the last season, they took a lot of time off to allow the admins and everyone to catch their breath, have a little vacation. We saw a lot of them show up in the Tuesday night Street Stock Series. But guys like Colby Whipple and Jeremy Edwards both took all this time off, both coming back refreshed, and both looking awfully fast tonight. Vic Brown and Patrick Pieper still at the front, but the big mover, Bradley James, now up 20 spots into third, and here comes a problem. Lap traffic ahead. As Dustin Slover, he drops to the bottom, lets everybody get by. Great call by Slover. It did look like that truck has seen better days. It had quite a bit of damage, and he is actually bringing it in. Slover on pit road. Yeah, the right side of that truck is a little beat up, as is the front end. That's a little more than bump drafting. Vic Brown with the push. Bradley James now to second, couldn't get clear. Looked like Bradley was going to try and push. Vic Brown out front, then drop to the bottom and try and take the lead. When Bradley takes the lead, man, that's going to be an impressive run. Another impressive run back in 7th place. Richard Cragen in the 6 truck. Cragen up 17 spots into 7th place. Folks, we'd love to hear your predictions in the comments. Will we have another big one here tonight as we hit about a third of the way through the race? Dustin Slover completed his pit stop. He has come back in. They only had one fast repair here tonight. Looks like Dustin is just trying to get the truck up to speed. Patrick Pieper gets the big push from Vern. Brian Hewitt back in 3rd in the 19. It is worth mentioning because they are close together. Hewitt in 3rd, Ryan McDaniel in 10th, and we saw it a lot last year, a lot during the street stock season. These two drivers have a way of finding each other and making some, whoa! Oh, this could get ugly. Slover did an amazing job keeping that truck from coming back up. Wow. There's Slover way off the pace. Didn't realize, and he gets a bump. I think that was Hewitt off into the grass. It is hard to keep that truck from sliding back up the track. He manages to keep it down in the grass. Man, everybody owes him a thanks. That could have been catastrophic. Folks, don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and the YouTube. You can find the previous Retro Truck Series, one of the lap cars. That is one of the rookies. Brian Ray, he has dropped to the bottom. The lead pack has gotten by after a very close call. As I was saying, our previous Retro Truck Series, all those videos are still on YouTube. You can go back and watch the entire previous Retro Truck season in preparation for this season. We are getting closer and closer to pit stops. Ryan McDaniel is in. He had a problem just a moment ago, went off track. Oh, let's see where this started. Coming out of turn 2. Oh, Ryan comes down. Thought he was clear. And just barely clips that wall enough to turn him around. Gets the wall again. He does get it back to pit road. Ouch. As we mentioned, pit stops are coming soon. Ryan McDaniel has completed his. He is back out on... No, he is still on pit road. Looks like he is getting repairs done as the leaders go by. Now, remember, there are still 20 trucks on the lead lap. You cannot pit alone at Daytona. That will leave you without drafting help coming off pit road. You have to pit with at least one person, but we're likely to see groups of 6 to 8, maybe more, hit pit road together. Would definitely not be the first time we have seen chaos. And oh, Larry Waits was trying to get to pit road. There's Larry as he aims down for pit road, but just went too far. Stomps the brakes to avoid a speeding penalty, and it sends him around. Rough night for Larry. Patrick Pieper to the lead. As they go by, Ryan McDaniel. Ryan drops to the apron to let the leaders get by. He'll slide back up in line. He gets it back up as Clay comes by. And will get hooked up with the back part of the field. Back across the start-finish line, just a few laps shy of halfway. Larry Waite is back out on track on his way off pit road. And here comes the leaders. And David Lux has come to pit road alone. That's a bit of a surprise. Seeing two drivers already go to pit road alone. And here we go. About half the field in pit road. No problems yet. Patrick Pieper, Eric W., Edmund Jones, Vern Spring, Brian Hewitt, Justin Swafford, Jason McCall, Jacob Morgan, and Richard Cragen all bring them in. Likely to see most, if not all, of this group come in this time as Vic Brown drops back. Vic may be out of fuel. And here they come. Bradley James, Jeremy Edwards, Colby Whipple, Jade Briette, Andy Wilkinson, all on pit road. And it does appear Vic Brown ran out of fuel. Vic was running up at the front for most of that run. Never got in the draft, never got an opportunity to conserve fuel. And here we go. Austin Ruskoff, Andrew Thornton, Chad Ragsdale, all bring them in. That will complete the cycle of stops as Jeremy Edwards comes out. Looks like we're about to have 3 or 4 different groups out on track. Here comes Patrick Pieper with Richard Cragen and Eric W. As Chad Ragsdale, Austin Ruskoff, and Andrew Thornton are coming off pit road. And Patrick Pieper goes back to the lead. Folks, don't forget, next Tuesday night, we have the C12 Motorsports Street Stock season finale. Next Wednesday night, we'll be back here and we'll be taking the retro trucks to the Rock. We're going to Rockingham. 2 weeks from tonight, on my birthday, we'll be at Iowa. Jeremy Edwards, Bradley James now up front. Pieper in third, Cragen in fourth, Eric W. in fifth, Vern Spring in sixth, Jacob Morgan in seventh, Justin Swalford in eighth, Edmund Jones in ninth. Then leading a second pack back in 10th, Austin Ruskoff, Andrew Thornton, and Chad Ragsdale. Andy Wilkinson back in 13th as Colby Whipple, Brian Hewitt, Ryan McDaniel, Jade Briette, and Jason McCall all right there. This group will pick up Colby Whipple. They pick up Andy Wilkinson and Colby Whipple. Now the group gets bigger. And as long as they continue to go single file, they have a shot at catching the lead pack. Right now, Austin Ruskoff leading that small 3-car group, about 4.8 seconds behind the leader, but these 3 trucks are gaining. Brian Hewitt, oh, this can't be good. Brian Hewitt has Ryan McDaniel right behind him. As we are just past the halfway point here at Daytona, let's hear from you guys here at home, there at home. Let us know who you're cheering for or who you think is going to pull off the win tonight. Lead group, 9 cars deep at the moment. Austin Ruskoff and these 3 have started to lose a little ground. They are 5 1/4 seconds back. And this group, led by Hewitt, at the moment is losing even more ground. They just cannot get in a line and stay together. Whoa, Hewitt power moves down in front of Whipple. The lead group has now gotten side by side. Eric working his way to the front. We've got a car sideways back behind. It was Brian Ray, I do believe. It was Brian Ray is towed to pit road. Unfortunately, we're going to try this one more time, but unfortunately it looks like he was blinking and we couldn't get a good look at him. Try one more time here. There's Ray in the 9 car up by the wall. Nope, he was back behind. He just disappears. Disappears yet again. Reappears right beside Clay Kirchenbauer. Yeah, he has got a severe blinking issue, likely led to his getting into the wall. Wow. He's disappearing for about half the lap. Well, it does not look like we're going to be able to pull off looking at that incident. My apologies, but yeah, obviously caused by that blinking truck. You know, those trucks and the drivers that have connection issues, they are a problem any track we go to. They are a problem, but they are especially a big problem here at Daytona and Talladega when you are just inches apart. iRacing uses predictive coding to try and keep that car where it should be, but sometimes it will appear and disappear inside another car. The other issue, besides not knowing where the other driver is on track, is if a car in a draft line disappears, the physics also read the car as not being there. So the car behind him is not getting the benefit of the draft. Justin Swafford coming around. He will lead for the first time here tonight. Edmund Jones now in second. Jeremy Edwards in third. Bradley James, one heck of a run, in fourth. Patrick Pieper in fifth. Eric W. in sixth. Cragen up 17 spots into seventh. Vern Spring in eighth. Jacob Morgan up 13 spots into ninth. Austin Ruskoff in 10th. They are now 7.9 seconds behind that lead pack. Jade Briette leads the third pack at the moment. They are 9.3 seconds back from that second group. Normally you'd see these groups back behind get single file and work together to catch back up to the lead pack. That has just not been the case here. This third group should have gotten tightened up single file and already caught Ruskoff, Thornton, and Ragsdale. They should be running down the lead pack by now, especially with the lead pack getting side by side. Folks, don't forget to come back tomorrow night at 8 Eastern. The Unicorn takes to the road again. She'll be trucking, I believe, in Europe tomorrow night. Her and the crew in the convoy once again. It is always fun to watch that convoy. Also tomorrow we will be working on some trucking shorts along with race shorts. Make sure you're following on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. We will have some updates about a lot of our content very soon as the leaders catch into lap traffic. Eric, he finally gets back to everybody, gets lined up. Sorry, that was Bradley, not Eric, that had to drop to the bottom as they come by the Hooters car. David Lux just struggling here tonight. Whoa, close call for Lux as he cuts down right in front of Vic. And we are closing in on the window for final pit stops. Some of these drivers will be able to make it from lap 62 to the end. Justin Swafford has been leading for several laps now. He started the race back in 11th, has made quite a move to the front. But when it comes down to that final 2 laps, out front is not where you want to be. In fact, every race car driver has a place they'd like to be when they get that 2 to go. Those of you watching that are drivers, where do you want to be with 2 laps to go at Daytona? After we get some comments, I'll tell you where I want to be. Andy Wilkinson now leading this third group. They are now 14.5 seconds back from the second group. And this second group now 9.25 seconds behind the lead pack. We'll see what strategies play out. Remember, some of these drivers can go the distance next time by. Well, nobody commented on the question, where do you want to be with 2 to go at Daytona? Me personally, I like being in third place. That way I can utilize the second place car to slingshot past the leader. Looked like Lux was looking to go to pit road, but nobody was willing to go with him at the moment. Edmund Jones has now slipped up into the lead. Jeremy Edwards sliding in right behind him. Swafford looks like he pulled over, moved back into 9th. Remember, we saw one of the drivers that led early on. Gerald Thanos Poole, the master of plate racing, says he wants to be in the outside line, 1 lane back, or 1 row back, excuse me. Ryan McDaniel has come to pit road. He is not with his group. He came in alone. Edmund Jones still out front. Ryan McDaniel and Larry Waits, the only 2 that have been to pit road. this lead group likely to all come in together. Brandon, you definitely do, buddy. This is the season opener. You could get in next week and be out here racing for the entire season. And what a schedule we have this season. As we mentioned, next week we are at Rockingham, followed by Iowa and Legacy Atlanta. Other tracks of note we're going to this season: Laguna Seca, Legacy, Michigan, Eldora, iRacing Super Speedway, the All-Star Race will be at the Legacy Charlotte track, and the season finale where it belongs. Just like the season opener belongs at Daytona, the season finale at Homestead. Here they come. Jeremy Edwards leads them down. Bradley James stayed out. Austin Ruskoff, Andrew Thornton, and Chad Ragsdale continue to stay out. Andy Wilkins and Colby Whipple, Jay Triette, that third group also came in at about the same time as the lead pack. Here comes Bradley James. He's got help from Patrick Pieper, Clay Kirchenbauer, and Vic Brown. Austin Ruskoff bringing the second group in. And at the moment, Eric W. at the front with the push from Richard Cragen. Bradley James on his way off pit road. Eric and Cragen at full speed back behind. And here goes Eric. Should take the lead. But man, all these cars coming off pit road. Things are about to heat back up. Eric W. goes to the lead for the first time here tonight. Let's take a look. Oh, Eric got a little bit of a blink on. Well, that's right along with Vern Spring as he just set the fastest lap of the night. .190 as Vern comes out of turn 2. Remember, the restrictor plates keep their speed down, but in the draft, these guys hitting 194, 195. And Jacob Morgan just set the fastest lap. Lap times are going down as the lights come on. And lap cars are moving in with the leaders. Eric W. and Richard Cragen now have a little buffer back to Jacob Morgan, but not for much longer. "20 laps to go. Everybody's good to go on fuel." A very impressive run here tonight. Only one caution so far. Can they make it another 19 laps without another caution coming out? I imagine things are about to heat up as Jacob Morgan's gone to the high side with help from Edmund Jones. Off into 1 and 2. That high line does not appear to be as fast now that the track is cooling off. Eric W. still leads that bottom line at the moment. Gerald, Brandon, you guys both know drivers in the field. Whoa, hold on, Eric. Here comes Jacob with a huge run. Any prediction? Whoa! Things are getting spicy. Jacob is sideways. 17 to go. He stays in the grass. No caution. Take a look at this incident from the blimp. Jacob gets a bad bump from Edmund, comes down across Eric's nose, slides it through the asphalt, through the grass, back onto the asphalt, gathers it up. A great save, but he's going to need a caution to get back into the fight. Meanwhile, Edmund Jones has taken the lead. "16 laps to go." I know Brandon and Gerald and DJ have raced with several drivers in this field. Does anybody have a prediction for the winner? And will we see another caution? We obviously saw Morgan having problems a moment ago. Things are really starting to heat up. And Bradley James, the biggest mover of the night, goes back to the lead. He started in 23rd. Now he's at the front, hoping to hold on for 15 more laps. "15 laps to go, and a lot of the pack back together. Still 14 cars on the lead lap. Colby Whipple is leading a second pack, or Andy Wilkinson leading that second pack. They are about 15 and a half seconds behind. Jacob Morgan has found himself a little bit of help. Chad Ragsdale, Andrew Thornton, Austin Ruskoff, but they are 20 seconds behind. And Edmund Jones just started blinking dramatically. Well, Brandon, Edmund is a pretty good bet, but Jeremy Edwards in that 17, man, he will come from nowhere to pull off a win. He's the guy you forget about until you get down to that last 5 laps, and suddenly he's on your bumper. Austin Ruskoff continues to lead the second pack. That lead pack is side by side. With 12 laps to go, they're only 20 seconds behind the lead pack, and I promise you, if that lead pack stays side by side and these guys keep working and tighten up, they can still get back up into the fight. I have seen groups come from further back in less time at Daytona. They're about to have some help from Vic Brown and David Lux as well. Whoa, things getting spicy up front. See if we can see what happened with this group. Edmund getting his blink on there. Down the front straightaway, don't see any problems. Fast forwarded just a hair. All right, let's see what happened. I know Eric W. was involved. Looked like several cars ended up going off track. Eric gets a bump as they go off into one. Well, it wasn't that time. All right, here they come out of turn 4. And, oh, bumping. Swafford manages to save it. Eric doesn't. Oh, Eric somehow keeps it off the wall. That's the power of having Bob Ross on your car. Bob Ross just gave Eric a happy little save. Oh, big wreck at the front, peepers around. Several cars out of shape, Edmund involved. Caution is out. And this will bring the field back together with only a few laps left to go. only our second caution of the night. See if we can see what happened. Edmund Jones back behind. Something happened with the 4. See what happened with Bradley James. Bradley got bumped trying to come back down into line. Clipped the car ahead. Fortunately, looks... Ouch for Clay. Well, this one's coming down to the line, folks. Several drivers drop in. Jeremy Edwards, Richard Cragen, Bradley James, all coming in to use the repair. Austin Ruskoff, Clay Kirchenbauer, David Lux. Justin Swafford, Edmund Jones, Andrew Thornton, Chad Ragsdale, and Jacob Morgan, your top 5. Only 2 cautions tonight. First caution at lap 11, which set up the pit strategy for the night. And now a caution with 8 laps to go that will set up what promises to be an epic and likely very, very wild finish. Have to say, a lot of props to the guys who have been with C12 since the beginning. Guys like Justin Swafford, Jacob Morgan, Colby Whipple, all of that group and all of the admins, especially Colby Whipple, who runs the show now. This is a dramatically different race than we saw a couple of years ago when the Retro Truck Series debuted the first time. We still have 16 trucks on the lead lap as Patrick Pieper comes out. Austin Ruskoff is headed back in. Fuel's not going to be an issue. I'm guessing maybe tires? Let's see if we can see what he does here. Hits his pit stall. Looks like just repairs and fuel. Lights are out on the pace car. We're going to get the green flag with 4 laps to go. You guys at home have any new predictions? Edmund Jones, Justin Swafford on the front row. Andrew Thornton, Chad Ragsdale on the second. Jacob Morgan, Colby Whipple on the third. Jade Briette, Richard Cragen on the fourth. Bradley James and Jeremy Edwards round out the top 10. Brandon sticking with Edmund would be who he wants to win, but Jeremy Edwards is his pick. Desiree cheering on Edmund as well. Folks, take a quick breath. You may not get another chance for the next 4 minutes. Now, they do not use the restart zone. They start on the green flag. Pace car dives in. Green flag is in the air. 4 laps to go at Daytona. Colby Whipple starting to make some moves on the high side. Jacob Morgan right there underneath. Richard Craig and Bradley James battling it out. Jeremy Edwards, Eric W. Can Eric and Bob Ross get back to victory lane? Edmund gets a huge push from Andrew Thornton. He was pushing him into the turn. Now you know Edmund, they both know how to work together as we're going 3 wide. Ragsdale moves up into 3rd. Edmund moves up to the middle. Andrew Thornton takes the lead. Big wreck back behind. Trucks flying and caution is out. We'll get a green-white checker. Justin Swafford, Ryan McDaniel, Patrick Pieper, David Lux, Larry Waits, Eric W., Jade Briette, Austin Ruskoff, all involved. Let's take a look down. All right, keep an eye on the 6 of Richard Cragen. Oh, the bump comes from the 17, Jeremy Edwards, and that just started the chain reaction. Ryan McDaniel couldn't avoid it. Justin Swafford ended up in the wall, facing the wrong way, and repeatedly gets hit. David Lux gets caught up in it right away, just piled in there. Keep an eye on Richard Cragen. Here's where it gets bumpy. Richard in the 6 just keeps getting bumped from both sides. Was briefly on top of his competitors and drives away with it. It's broke. But what do you expect? It's a Ford. So, Andrew Thornton up front. Let's see if we can get a quick word with the leader. Hey, Andrew, it's Doug. You got me?
I gotcha.
Well, you're in the worst possible place. You lost your help. How you feeling?
Oh, I'll add to your suspense for the ratings. I am only 0.1 to the good on fuel.
I'd suggest driving around the apron on the pace left, buddy.
And I got to do something. I don't have a clutch pedal mapped anymore, so I can't hyper mileage this thing.
Drop to the apron through the turns, and that'll save you a little bit, buddy. But how are you feeling?
I need the banking to make speed.
How are you feeling about your chances here at the end? I was wrong. Edmund is going to be behind you, so you've got your help up there.
Oh, you think he's help?
Well, no. In no situation is Edmund Jones helpful, but
It'll be something, that's for sure.
definitely is. Have you ever won a race at Daytona?
No. I have been close about 8 different times.
Well, man, let's hope tonight is the night. Good luck, buddy.
Thanks, Doug.
Andrew Thornton will have help from Edmund Jones. If Edmund chooses to help, that is. So it'll be Andrew Thornton and Chad Ragsdale up front, Edmund Jones and Colby Whipple on the second row. Jacob Morgan, Bradley James on the third, Andy Wilkinson, Patrick Pieper on the fourth, Austin Ruskoff and Jason McCaud round out the top 10. Yeah, Brandon, Edmund should have kept that thing pinned to the bottom, and Jeremy Edwards, I think, maybe out. He is sitting on pit road along with Eric W. and Bob Ross. Gerald, I have never heard of that before, but that is definitely the absolute truth. Gerald Poole said it's the 1,000-yard rule. Help until you got 1,000 yards left, or basically help until the back straightaway on the final lap. Now, folks, we do have 2 green-white checkers available. This will be the first one. Hopefully they can make it to the checkers, but time will tell. Here we go. Green flag back in the air, 2 to go at Daytona. Chad Ragsdale has a problem right off the restart. Andrew Thornton out front. Edmund on his bumper. Whipple right behind. Jacob Morgan, Bradley James. Bradley giving Morgan a big push, trying to clear Pieper. Back through 3 and 4. If they cross the start-finish line, then we will go to the end. Here we go. White flag is in the air one more time around. 13 cars on the lead lap. It could be any of them. Whoa! Edmund's around. Big Wreck out of 2. Andrew Thornton and Jacob Morgan make it. Patrick Pieper about a second back. It'll come down to these 2 cars. Andrew Thornton out front. Jacob builds a run out of turn 4. Morgan to the bottom. Who's it gonna be? At the line, it was Andrew Thornton. His first ever Daytona win. Wow. Let's take a look real quick at those incidents on the final laps. Keep an eye on Ragsdale. Up there on the high side, something just broke when he got on the gas. He went to the wall. Then on the final lap, let's look from the blimp. I saw a lot of bumping. Whipple comes, Edmund gets all sorts of out of shape. Let's take a look at this from a different angle. Edmund just came down. It's like the truck got loose. And chaos ensues. All right, let's talk to our top three, starting with third place. Andy Wilkinson. Andy, it's Doug in the booth. You got me?
Yeah.
Hey, man. Congratulations. One heck of a finish there. In your rookie race with the league, you come home on the podium. Okay. Second place is Jacob Morgan. Jacob, buddy, I didn't say anything the whole race to make sure I didn't jinx you. And like 1/100th of a second, man, it doesn't get much closer.
Dear, if I would have, I don't know, nothing else I could have done. Hey, I'll take it.
Man, I gotta say, it was one heck of a run. Coming out of turn 4, you obviously had a big run going, and I thought you had it at the line. It was impossible to tell.
Yeah, man, I think I seen his nose. I was like, ah.
Man,
I almost got it for you.
you almost did, but the paint job definitely worked. So I'll pick them all season, and you can get a championship finally.
Yeah, we'll work that out.
All right, buddy. Great job tonight, man. One heck of a run. And also the biggest mover of the night, up 20 spots.
Yes, sir.
Great job, Jacob.
Did I get the fastest lap?
Let's see. I think you did get the fastest lap. Well, wait a minute. Nope, you got beat by Clay Kirchenbauer.
Never fails.
Well, still, a great finish, buddy. Congratulations.
Thank you. Have a good one, Doug.
And finally, our winner, his first ever win at Daytona. Andrew, congratulations, your first ever Daytona win.
Yeah, yep, that's definitely a first. First off, I want to apologize to Eddie. I said he was going to be no help, and he ended up being a bunch of help by accident. And I definitely wouldn't have been anywhere near the front if me, Austin Ruskoff, and Chad Ragsdale hadn't all run together mid part of that race to stay within striking distance of the leaders.
Well, man, it was one heck of a run. Obviously, up until that caution with 11 to go, didn't really think you had a shot at it. Weren't even looking at you guys that closely because you were so far back. And then suddenly the caution comes out, and you made every move just right.
Oh, we were back there just cruising. We're just like, okay, cool. We're running 8, 9, and 10. This is a good finish for us. And then the caution came out, and then the green white the whole green white checkered deal, and I'm sitting where I am because the vehicle is out of fuel. And yeah, it was close, and Jacob Morgan, he had every opportunity to turn me twice down the back straightaway and coming to the checkered here, and I truly thought he had it because I could read his numbers to my left. But I'm guessing it was exciting for you. I'm glad to see you still have a voice.
Just barely, buddy. Just barely. Great job, bud. Congratulations. Your first ever Daytona win and your first ever Nowski win. Congrats, buddy.
Yep. Thanks, Doug. We'll see you on Monday night, and we'll see you in Enid when we get to share the microphone.
That's right, buddy. Great job. Andrew Thornton coming home with the win, and what a night of racing that was. And just a quick update, Chad Ragsdale's VR headset went out on that restart. So his headset going out explains why he ended up going into the wall. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 8 Eastern, the beautiful unicorn goes trucking. You don't want to miss that. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you tomorrow, and have a great night, everybody.